Hello, everyone. Hi, Mitch. Thanks for letting me know you're here. Hey, Cindy. Aw, thank you. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. And welcome to class. So, as I said before, since this is a Yin, the end of class is going to be pretty nice and relaxing. And this is a little bit different from a Yin yoga class in the sense that uh, I will let you kind of be in the pose. I won't be talking too much, explaining how yin works and all that good stuff. So you'll have a lot of silence. I will be playing some natural sound for you, some relaxing natural sound. So the effect of this kind of class is really to relax you at the end. So we'll flow a little bit. We'll do some vinyasa flow, strengthen the body, work a little bit, and then at the end we'll do some long holds in silence as we lead to the shavasana, which will be pretty long. That's my main purpose of doing these classes at 75 minutes instead of the 60 minutes that we usually do in studio, because here, we're at home, so you can choose to stop whenever you want. You don't have to rush to a car to worry about traffic or the time or any of that. So it's, kind of relaxed. So I'd like to take advantage of that. We will be starting in about a minute. So go ahead and finalize your setup. Make sure that you have all the things that you need for your practice. And we are going to start seated today. So find your seat. Find all the props that you need. I'm asking you to have 2 blocks. So when we go deep into some poses, you'll have the blocks to support you so you can go deep without injuring yourself. That's my intention. So again, welcome to class. Please leave me messages. I will walk over there and check the messages every now and then if I see that there are new messages. I see your messages. I don't see you. About that. Oh, okay. I don't know why this is happening. I don't know if that's weather related, but if you lost me, I'm back. It looks like all the systems are still going here. But if you don't hear me for some reason, if something is up, please let me know in the message box. So I was going to introduce the space a little bit for those of you who are used to my meditation room upstairs. As you might know, my mom passed away July 4th, and my dad moved in with me and my family. We didn't want him to be mourning by himself, so we were holding him. We're kind of holding him, holding space for him. And he is in my meditation room now. So this here is my sort of, library, not yoga library, but the sort of public library in the house. I will be moving around. I'll be trying different setups. But this is not my meditation space. For those of you who are used to my meditation space, obviously it's not. And I don't have my, meditation room stuff, from statues to books to candles to lamps and so forth. But I will be setting up a nice space that is very much already. I'm not sure why this is happening. If you're losing the picture, I know I'm losing the picture here. I have no idea what could be causing this. So my apologies if that's happening. So come to your comfortable seat, tuck your tailbone in already. So lengthen the tailbone towards the floor and gently push the sacrum forward. So that's the tucking in of the tailbone. That's going to lengthen your lower back. Also lengthen through the crown of the head and pull the spine up with the crown of the head, as if you're trying to touch the ceiling with the crown. Hands on your knees or on your thighs, palms up or down. So allow yourself a few seconds of introspection, a few seconds of privacy, calm, peace, connecting to that space within yourself that is still and peaceful and quiet. And as you do all this, find your breath and follow the breath from the nostrils to the nasal cavity, to the throat, down to the chest, the lungs. Fill up your shoulders, your arms, all the way to the tips of the fingers, and fill up your torso all the way to the hips, and from the hips, the legs. Find spaces in the body that are thirsty for breath, and fill those spaces with all the breath that you can find. And then very gently and compassionately empty the body of all the breath, and acknowledge the fact that on the inhale, you're bringing in the oxygen to the body, and on the exhale, you're emptying the carbon dioxide out of the body. So acknowledge the fact that it is not the same breath going in as the breath going out. We'll open our practice with 3 ohms. You're welcome to chant with me. You're welcome to simply feel the vibration of the mantra. You're also welcome to set an intention for your practice if that's something that works for you, if that's something that you'd like to do. So any wish, any prayer, any resolve, this is the time to set them. And let's take a deep inhale together and empty with a full, complete exhale. And let's inhale for 3 ohms. With your next inhale, blink the eyes open. Return to this space. Inhale, stretch your arms all the way overhead, as if you're trying to touch the ceiling. Lengthen the right side of the body and the left side. Look up if that's okay. One more inhale. Exhale, lower the hands, take them to the floor, and walk your hands forward, bringing yourself to a forward fold. Hinge at the hips to fold forward. Feel the stretch in the lower back. Feel the stretch in your side body. Take a deep inhale. Fill up the body as much as you can. Exhale, walk the hands back towards your shins and uncross your legs. Notice which shin is in the front. When you uncross your legs, take that front shin to the back and place the one that was in the back in the front. Inhale, arms all the way up. Again, lengthen through the right and left side body. Then look up, lengthen a little bit more. One more inhale. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Walk the hands forward. Hinge at the hips to come to your full version of your seated forward fold. Feel the stretch throughout the back side of the body, but also through your glutes and hips and thighs. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, walk your hands back. Come up to the seat. Stretch your arms all the way up one more time and turn your gaze up, look up. Take another deep inhale, lengthen as you exhale, twist left. Lengthen the arms one more time, then drop your left hand behind you, right hand to the outer edge of your left thigh. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist your whole torso left. One more, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist left. One more, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist left. You should be looking at your left shoulder, maybe a little bit behind you. Those of you who can, bend your left elbow and wrap your left arm around your lower back. One more inhale here. As you exhale, untwist, come back to center, arms all the way up, look up, lengthen both sides of the body. Now twist right first, then release your right hand behind you, left hand to the outer edge of your right thigh. Inhale, lengthen the spine, exhale, twist right. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. One more inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. You should be looking at your right shoulder or what's behind your right shoulder. If you can, bend your right elbow and wrap your right arm around your lower back. One more inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. And next time you exhale, release your twist, return to the front. Go as far right as you can. Keep folding over your right thigh as you do this. If it helps, you can grab your left wrist with your right hand to deepen the stretch on the left side of the body. One more inhale here. Exhale, come back to center first. And then inhale, and as you exhale, walk your hands left. And again, go as far left as you can. If you want to, if you can't, fold over that left thigh. And if it helps, left hand to right wrist to deepen the stretch on the right side. Inhale, exhale, walk the hands back to center first. Walk the hands back towards your shins. One more time, we're gonna uncross the shins, move the shin that was in the back to the front, the shin that was in the front to the back. Take your right palm to the floor, left arm up, look at your left palm, and slowly walk your right hand out and bend your right elbow, bringing the elbow to the floor, and bend your whole body right. If you can, bring your left biceps to the left ear. Try to glue your left hip to the floor, left thigh, left knee to the floor to deepen the stretch on the left. Exhale away with the right palm, bringing yourself up to standing. Take your left palm to the floor, stretch your right arm up, turn your gaze up, look at your right palm, and then slowly start walking your left palm away from you. Bend your left elbow, bringing the elbow and the forearm to the floor. And again, bend to the left. Bring your right biceps to the right ear. Glue your right hip, right thigh, and right knee to the floor. Deepen that stretch on the right. And if you can, turn your gaze up, look at your right arm. Take another deep inhale here and exhale. Next inhale, push the floor away with your left palm, bringing yourself up. And then both arms up, palms touch, bring the palms to heart center. And from here, find your way to hands and knees. So take your palms to the floor, knees to the floor. If you need to pad your knees, by all means. My floor is a hardwood floor, so that makes it hard on the knees. So I'll place a blanket under my knees. If you're using a carpet, then you don't need that. But you might also need that. So pad your knees. Make sure the creases of your wrists are parallel to the front edge of the mat. Shift your weight forward a little bit and shift your weight back to warm up your wrists. Forward and back, forward and back. And then come back to a neutral tabletop. Turn your palms around so the fingers now face you. And same thing, shift your weight forward and back. Be careful with the elbows here. They might be compromised. So be careful with that. Shift forward and back, forward and back. Then come back to neutral. Turn the palms around so the fingers are now facing the long side of your mat. And same thing, forward and back, forward and back. And last round, palms now facing forward. The inhale, look up, lift your hips up, and exhale, tuck your tailbone and tuck your chin in, round your back. Inhale, arch up, look up, lift your hips up, and exhale, round your back, tuck your chin in, tuck your tailbone in. A few more rounds like this at your own pace, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Come back to neutral tabletop, tuck your toes under and shift your hips back towards your heels, stretching the toes a lot. Bend your elbows, place the elbows and the forearms on the floor. Bring the crown of the head or your forehead to the floor. Keep pressing your hips into your heels to deepen, to intensify that stretch of the toes. And then come back to tabletop, release the toes and tap a little bit, massaging the tops of the feet and the tops of the toes. And then next inhale, stretch your right foot back, toes on the floor, toes tucked. Pulsate forward and back a little bit to stretch your right hamstrings. And then when you're ready, engage your core to lift your right leg, but keep your hips parallel to the floor. So don't lift too high like this. Keep it here. Flex the foot a lot as if you're trying to step on the back wall. Find your balance as you stretch your left arm forward, pinky to the floor, thumb to the ceiling. Look at your left palm or look at your right palm. One more inhale, lengthen a lot. Exhale, bend your right knee, reach with the left hand, grab your right foot, any part of your right foot that you can grab. And as you kick your foot into the hand, lift that right leg as high as you can. Feel the stretch in your right quads here. Inhale, lift a little bit more. It is a back bend as well. So we're still warming up the body, but it doesn't mean that we can't work hard here. Inhale, lift a little bit more. And exhale, return to tabletop. Do some cat-cow stretches to allow the spine to return to normal, to return to neutral. Return to a neutral tabletop. Step your left foot back, toes tucked. Pulsate forward and back, forward and back. Feel how wonderful it is to stretch the left hamstrings here. And then with engagement of the core especially, lift your left leg. So flex your left foot, try to step on the back wall. Find your balance as you stretch your right arm forward. Again, pinky to the floor, thumb to the ceiling. Your gaze is forward towards your right hand or down towards your left hand. One more inhale, lengthen a lot. Exhale, bend your left knee, reach with the right hand, grab your left foot, any part of the left foot that you can grab. Kick the foot into the hand as you lift your left knee as high as possible, feeling that wonderful stretch in the left quads. Inhale, lift a little bit more. Also feel the back bend, the compression in the discs of your back. And exhale, hands and knees to the floor. Cat-cow stretches. And find your child's pose. You can keep your knees together or about a hip width difference apart, or you can separate your knees a lot, let the big toes touch, and come to your version of child's pose and rest right here. So as you come to this child's pose, notice the quality of your breath. Notice the quality of your thoughts, the quality of your energy before we start moving. Usually by now, even if we're still warming up, you'll feel the difference. You feel that you're already kind of awakened and ready to go. So when you're ready, come back to tabletop. Make sure that you're tracking correctly. Inhale, stretch your right leg back like we did before. Keep your hips parallel to the floor. One more inhale, and exhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. Make sure the knee is right over the ankle. This is happening, and I really don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing, but I'm losing the picture every now and then. So push the knee forward, push the knee away from you as you lower your hips to the ground. Lower the hips as close to the floor as possible, feeling a very deep stretch in the left groin. So lower as much as you can. Try to keep your knee over the ankles. If that means moving the right foot forward a little bit, go ahead and do that. Either stay here, hands on the front knee, or arms by your side, lengthen as if you're trying to touch the floor with the tips of your fingers. This is also a good opportunity to bring in the blocks, those of you who want to use blocks. So you can place your hands on the blocks and push the blocks away from you. That's going to lengthen the spine a little bit more for you. Squeeze the shoulder blades into the chest. That's going to deepen the back bend, soften the front ribs, and then lengthen from here. Those of you who would like to go deeper, you're welcome to stretch your arms up like we were doing in the beginning of class. So stretch first, both sides of the body. Look up if that's okay. You're going to notice that this is deepening the stretch in the left groin. If you have room to walk your hands back on the ceiling, finding a deeper back bend, go for it. Inhale deeply. Exhale, both hands down. Plant your left palm on the block or on the floor and twist right. Stretch your right arm up, look up. Exhale, right palm down, glue it to the floor or the block, and twist left. Left arm up, look up. Exhale, both hands down. Shift your weight back, taking your hips all the way over your ankle. Straighten the front leg and lift the front toes. Feel the stretch in your right hamstrings. Take a deep inhale as if you're sending the breath to the right hamstring, filling up the right hamstrings here. And exhale, go back to your lunge. So bend your right knee, shift the hips forward, lower them down. 2 more rounds like this. So shift the hips back first. Straighten the front leg, lift the toes. I'm showing you without the block. And exhale, return to the lunge. Lower the hips. 1 more. Inhale, shift the weight back, straighten the front legs, lift the toes, stretch those hamstrings. And exhale, come back to the lunge. Hands on the floor, step your right knee, place it next to left, and move to the other side. So inhale, left leg back first, flex the foot, lengthen as much as you can. Exhale, step your left foot forward between your hands. Take your time, making sure the front knee is right over the ankle. And hands on your front knee, push the knee away. But when you're pushing the knee away, you're not really taking it ahead of the ankle. You're only using that resistance in the knee to deepen the back bend that you're in. Lower the hips, feel the stretch in the right groin this time. If you want, you can keep your arms by your side. You can also use the blocks. So push your hands into the blocks, lengthening a little bit more. Squeeze the shoulder blades into the chest. Soften the front ribs. Those of you who are comfortable stretching your arms up, stretch through the right and left side of the body, look up. And if you have room to walk your hands on the ceiling, go for that back bend. It's going to deepen the stretch in your groin. Enjoy it. Only if it's comfortable do you want to do this. Do not hurt yourself. Inhale. Exhale. Hands down. Start with the right palm on the floor or the block. Twist left. Left arm up. Look up. Exhale, release your left palm, glue it to the floor, twist right, right arm up, look up. And then both hands down, take your left knee, place it, and then glue your belly to the thighs, bring your heart to the floor, walk your hands forward for puppy dog pose. The hips are high. The belly is glued to the thighs. You're stretching your spine a lot. Look forward between the hands. On your inhale, press the palms into the floor. That's going to lift your wrist bones and your arm bones. Make sure the palms are about a shoulder width apart. And as you press your palms into the floor, start shifting your weight forward, your whole body forward. Drop your hips to the floor. You'll be in the cobra pose. So here you can bend your elbows a lot and come all the way down to a baby cobra, or stay right here in a high cobra. Whatever you like. Hold the cobra version that you like. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, turn your gaze, look over your right shoulder, and try to see all 10 toes. In other words, you are drawing a line, an energetic line from your right shoulder to the left pinky toe. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, turn around, look forward. Inhale, and exhale, look to the left. Again, you're looking over your left shoulder. You're trying to see all 10 toes and drawing an energetic line from your left shoulder to the right pinky toe. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, look forward. One more time, cobra. Exhale, lower down to the floor, baby cobra. Float your arms up in space, lengthening your spine, especially that your thoracic spine. One more inhale. Exhale, palms by your lower ribs. Push yourself into a tabletop. You're going to notice that your palms are ahead of the shoulders. That's okay. And if you're here, please move your hands forward so they are ahead of the shoulders. Tuck your toes under. Push the floor away with the palms. Push the floor away with the balls of your feet. Lift your hips, lift your knees. Downward facing dog. Walk your dog. So inverted V is the downward facing dog. Your gaze is towards your navel or the toes. Walk your dog. Pedaling the feet, lifting the heels one at a time. Crushing the heels to the floor one at a time. You can bend one knee, stretch the opposite leg, bringing the heel of that leg to the floor, and then switch, and switch, and switch. Keep lifting your hips up towards the ceiling. Keep lengthening the crown of the head towards the floor. One more inhale here, and exhale. Next inhale, stretch your left leg up. Flex your foot, so you don't want to go too high, but get on the balls of the left foot. One more inhale. Exhale, bend the right knee, bring it to your nose, and shift your weight forward so the shoulders are over the wrists. Inhale, back to three-legged dog. Right leg all the way up. Exhale, knee to nose. Shift your weight so the shoulders are over the wrists. Last one. Inhale, right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Shift your weight forward, and this time step your right foot forward between your hands. Again, you might need the blocks. So place your hands on the blocks. Come up to a high crescent. Arms all the way up. Look up. Take a deep inhale here, and you can also look straight ahead or look down to the floor. One more inhale. Exhale. Hands down to the floor. Step your right foot back. Find that downward facing dog. One more. Next inhale, left leg. So you don't go too high. Exhale, knee to nose, round and shift your weight forward so the shoulders are over the wrists. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, shift the weight forward. One more. Left leg up first. Knee to nose, round. Step your left foot forward. Again, use the blocks, stay here. Or those of you who are ready, high crescent, arms up, or look straight ahead, or look to the floor in front of you, a few feet in front of your left foot. One more inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step your left foot back. Downward facing dog, walk your dog. Then next inhale, shift your weight forward. Plank pose, shoulders over wrists. Drop your knees to the floor. Bend your elbows, hug the elbows into the chest. And bring your chest and chin to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, tabletop for just a second. Stretch your left leg back and step your left foot forward between your hands. Bring your blocks by your side. Shift your hips back, straighten the front leg. Lift the toes, feel the stretch in the left hamstrings. Exhale, return to your lunge. One more inhale, shift the hips back, straighten the front legs, lift the front toes. Exhale, back to the lunge. Again, you can use your blocks. You can also also do the same without the block. So shifting the hips back, straighten the front leg, lift the toes, and then lunge your knees a lot. Let the big toes touch. Bring your hips to the heels and find your child's pose and rest. So again, take a few seconds here in this child's pose to reconnect. Take a few seconds to regroup. Check on the quality of the breath, the quality of the thoughts, the quality of the energy. Recommit to your practice, recommit to your intention, reconnect to your source, to that peace, that quiet, that stillness that we started our practice with. One more inhale here, and exhale, return to tabletop on the inhale. Tuck your toes under, lift the hips, lift the knees, downward facing dog. Look forward between your hands, and on the inhale, walk your feet forward, coming to a forward fold at the front of your mat. You can use your blocks at their highest setting or at their medium setting, or lowest for those of you who want low. But also you can do the same thing without the blocks. So see what works for you. But we are gonna inhale and arch up halfway, okay? So when we arch up halfway, we wanna lengthen with the crown of the head, so we lengthen the spine. Try it with the blocks, try it with the hands on the shins, hands on the feet, or hands on the floor. But basically you're pressing down with the pads of your fingers. Look forward through the crown of the head. Send your hips back, send the front thighs to melt with the back thighs, and the back thighs to try and touch the back wall. Keep the legs straight if possible. Exhale, forward fold. We're gonna do this 2 more times. When you're ready, press the pads of the fingers into the floor or the blocks. Look forward, lengthen through the crown of the head. Straighten those legs and push the shins into your calves. Push the front hips, the front thighs into the back thighs, and the back thighs into the back wall, feeling a deep stretch of the hamstrings. One more inhale. You're still also sending your tailbone and your glutes back towards the back wall. Exhale, forward fold. We have one more like this. So when you're ready, in the forward fold, bend your knees, allow your torso to rest on top of the thighs. When you're ready, inhale, press the palms or the pads of the fingers into the blocks or the floor or your shins. Look forward, lengthen through the crown of the head. Send your hips, send the back of your legs back towards the back wall. Inhale deeply, exhale, fold, bend the knees, engage all your muscles, arch up halfway to come up to standing with a neutral spine, arms up, close the pose, palms to heart center, and breathe. And on the next inhale, arms all the way up. Add a little back bend by pushing the hips forward, walking the hands on the ceiling like we did before. Fold forward. Inhale, arch up halfway, lengthen with the straight legs. Exhale, fold, hands to the floor, right foot back, left foot back. Find the plank first. Be strong in your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose, shoulders over wrists. You're on the balls of the feet and the toes. Exhale, crush the heels down, lift the hips, downward facing dog. One more. Inhale, plank. Be strong in your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look forward between the hands, and on the inhale, walk, step, or jump forward. Inhale, lengthen, arch up halfway, straight legs. Exhale, fold, bend the knees. Inhale, arch up, and keep coming up to standing, arms up, palms touch. Bring the palms to heart center, and breathe. And one more, inhale, arms all the way up, a little back bend. Exhale, this time Utkatasana, chair pose. So lower the hips a lot. Feel the power in your legs. So engage your quads, engage your hamstrings, engage your hip flexors. As you lower the hips, also engage your core. Lower into your deepest chair pose, arms overhead, hug the ears with the upper arms. Look between the hands if that's okay. Inhale deeply, exhale, forward fold. Now, use the blocks again, hands on the two blocks. Shift your weight to the left. Fold forward first, and then stretch your right leg all the way behind you. Go as high as you can. This is a standing split. So for some people, you want the blocks to be low, or you don't want blocks at all. Left leg is straight, right leg is straight. You're split in half. You're in a forward fold, a very deep one. Inhale deeply, exhale, bend the left knee, land with the right foot next to left, forward fold. Inhale, arch up, exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Lower those hips, feel the power in your legs. Come up to standing, close the pose. And inhale, arms all the way up, a little back bend. Exhale, chair. Utkatasana, lower the hips. Take another deep inhale here. Exhale, fold. Use the blocks or hands on the floor. Shift your weight to the right leg. Keep your right leg straight. As you hinge at the hips, fold forward and stretch your left leg behind you, standing split. One more inhale and exhale. Bend your right knee. Land with the left foot next to right. Inhale, arch up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arch up for chair pose. And from chair, come up to standing and close the pose. And breathe. And take a few seconds here to regroup. We're regrouping in the Tadasana pose, in the mountain pose. We've been regrouping in the child's pose. Take a deep inhale here and exhale. And then blink the eyes open. If the eyes are closed, and so you want to externally rotate the arms so that the palms face forward. That means squeezing the shoulder blades towards one another. And when you do that, you're going to push the heart forward, the chest forward, so soften the front ribs towards your hips, towards the front hip points. Move your shoulders away from the ears. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Lengthen through the tailbone. Feel your feet on the floor. Lift the toes and sway right and left, front and back, finding four corners on every foot. And when you find those corners, distribute your weight equally on both feet. Spread your toes wide and land with the toes on the floor. Close your eyes for a few seconds at least to feel the balance in your Tadasana and your mountain pose. You want to feel the balance without your physical eyes, to trust your inner sense of balance, your intuition, your inner power. And then when you're ready, blink the eyes open and prepare for dancer pose. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to keep the blocks in front of you, because from dancer, we're going to land into the standing split that we just did. Okay? So you might want to have the blocks on the highest setting. But even if you don't have blocks, that's fine, because you're going to be able to do the pose, or at least a version of it. So first, for dancer pose, I'm going to lean on the right foot first. So from Tadasana, shift your weight to the right leg. Bend your left knee and reach with the left hand, grab your left foot. Remember, we did something similar in the half bow pose earlier, except we had the left hand with the right foot. So now left hand with the left foot. Kick the left heel into your glute, into your left glute. Left knee is pointing down to the floor. The left toes are pointing up to the ceiling. Stretch your right arm up towards the ceiling, as if you're trying to touch the ceiling with the tips of your right fingers. You can stay right here. You can, as you lean more on that right leg, because you're going to put more weight on the leg as you start hinging at the hips, you can keep stretching your right arm forward. You can stay here, kick the left foot into the left hand to give yourself a deeper back bend. You also can take your right hand to the block, keep your left hand on your left foot as you deepen that back bend, and also as you lift that left leg a little bit higher. So stay here, everybody. Inhale and exhale. Now you want to release your left hand, take it to the block, and a little bit deeper as you stretch your left leg up. Standing one, fold forward. Inhale, arch up. Exhale, fold. Next time you arch up first with the knees bent and come up to standing and close your pose and find your Tadasana, your mountain pose. And take a few seconds before we move to the other side. So again, you want to externally rotate the arms so that the palms are facing forward. You want to move the shoulders away from the ears. You want to soften the front ribs as you push the shoulder blades into the chest. Lift the toes and sway right and left, front and back. Find 4 corners on every foot. Distribute the weight equally on both feet. Spread the toes wide. Land. Close the eyes so you can enjoy the balance without your physical eyes. And then when you're ready, blink the eyes open. Shift your weight to the left this time. And then bend your right knee. Reach with the right hand. Grab your right foot. Kick the right heel into the right glute. Stretch your left arm up, pointing the fingers, the left fingers towards the ceiling. The right toes are pointing towards the ceiling. The right knee is pointing down towards the floor. So when you're ready, you can start hinging. Lengthen the left arm forward. You can stay right here. You don't have to go further than this. Kick your right hand kick the right foot into your right hand, and either stay here, deepen the back bend, or go deeper by taking your left hand to the block first. Lean on your block as you deepen the back bend by kicking your right foot into the right hand and lifting your right leg a little bit higher. And then from here, you're going to release your right hand from your right foot, but keep the leg where it is. Lean with the right hand and left hand on the blocks. Hinge at the hips to come a little bit deeper in your forward fold. Stretch your right leg up. Standing split right here. One more inhale. Exhale. Bend the left knee. Land with the right foot next to the left. Forward fold. Let the torso rest on top of the thighs. Bend the knees. Maybe you want to dangle the arms. Maybe you want to shake the head yes and no. Inhale, arch up. Lengthen like we did before. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arch up. 2, chair pose. And from chair, come up to standing and close the pose. And take a few seconds here to regroup. Take a few seconds to find your balance. One more inhale here. And exhale. Next inhale, blink the eyes open. If you're not at the front of the mat, please return to the front of the mat. You're going to feel a little bit taller now, stronger, more focused, because we did the balancing pose, right? It requires a lot of strength. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, Utkatasana, our final chair pose. So be very committed to this chair pose. Lower the hips as much as you can. Feel the power in your legs. Allow your legs to support you. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arch up. Exhale, fold. Hands to the floor. Left foot back. Right foot back. Plank. From plank, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, another plank. Shoulders over wrists. Make sure your heels are over your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last one. Plank. And from plank, drop your knees to the floor, tops of the feet on the floor. Bend your elbows, hug your chest, bring your chest and chin to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Look to the right. Try to see all 10 toes over your right shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, look to the left. Try to see all 10 toes. Return to center. Lower all the way down to the floor. Make a pillow out of your hands or forearms. Separate your feet as wide as your mat. Turn the toes out and the heels in. And simply be here. And from here, rock your hips side to side. And then bend your knees and windshield wiper the legs side to side. We're going to do a lot of halves today. So keep your left forearm on the floor, parallel to the front edge of your mat. Bend your right knee, take your right hand to the right foot, and press onto this foot, kicking your right heel into the right glute. You're keeping your gaze forward. You can also let your forehead rest on top of the arm, on top of your forearm. But keep pressing that right foot. Keep pressing the right heel into the right glute. You'll notice my right elbow is pointing up to the ceiling. One more inhale. Exhale, switch to the other side. So right forearm now on the floor, parallel to the front edge of the mat. Bend your left knee, reach with the left hand. Grab the foot first and then kick that foot into the glute. So the hand is pushing the foot into the glute. Again, your gaze is straight ahead, or you can let your forehead rest on top of your forearm, your right forearm. One more deep inhale and exhale. Now bend both knees, place your palms by your chest, by your rib cage. Push the floor away as you lift your torso, peel your torso off the floor, keep the elbows bent, flex your feet, and try to touch the ceiling with your heels. Full engagement here. So keep pressing the floor away. Go to your version of this pose. Go to that back bend that works for you. One more inhale, fill up your spine with fresh breath. Exhale, lower down. And when you lower down, roll over to your back. You want to have your props nearby. Hug your knees to your chest first. Go ahead and rock side to side. When you rock side to side, you're in fact massaging your lower back, your hips. You're also massaging your thoracic spine, so be aware of every part of your body that is getting a massage here. And then place the feet on the floor, knees bent, and the feet about hip width distance apart. Cross your right ankle on top of the left knee. You have an option here to take a block and place it under your left foot, like this, and stay right here. or between your thighs. Interlace your fingers behind your left thigh and keep bringing that left knee towards your chest. You also can stretch your left leg up towards the ceiling, flexing the foot as if you're trying to touch the ceiling with the left heel. You also can release your hands from behind the thigh and walking the hands up to the left foot. If you prefer to use a strap here or a scarf, or simply hang on to your pants, shorts, or maybe interlacing the fingers behind your calf muscles. There is no right or wrong. Another way to do this is to place the block under your hips. So you can lift the hips, slide the block on its lowest level, then the number 4, then leg up. So now we come to the part of the practice that is the yin, that is the deep relaxation. The most important thing here is to be safe. To do the things that work for you without judgment. Whenever you are in the pose, you want to find a way to bend your left knee. So if your hands are on the left foot, you want to slowly walk the hands back towards the calves. Bend your left knee, land with the left foot on the floor, not the block. And then you're going to roll over the left side of your body, bringing your right foot. See, we're not changing this. I'm not changing this at all. I'm simply rolling over. The right foot will be on the floor. Lift yourself up if need be to reach the left foot and grab it with the right hand. So you will have your left hand on the right foot with the sole of the right foot on the floor. Right knee pointing up to the ceiling. And your right hand behind you hanging on to the left foot with the left heel touching your right glute or your left glute. And your left knee facing the back of your mat. You want to make sure both shoulders are on the floor. Your gaze can be up to the ceiling, or to the right, or to the left. Maybe you picked up some heat from the practice. If you're feeling the warmth in your body, if you're feeling the heat that you stoked inside of your body, use that heat to purify your thoughts, your breath, your mind. Let go of anything you don't need. Let it get burned in this fire, your fire, your practice. Take a deep inhale through the nostrils and exhale. And one more deep inhale and exhale. Release your right hand and left foot first. And release your right foot and left hand. Return to your back. Uncross your legs. Hug both knees to your chest and rock side to side. You'll notice that the rocking now is very different from that first time we rocked side to side. Because now a lot has shifted from the yin practice, from the long holds, from the silence, the peace within. Now both feet on the floor, knees bent, and again the feet are about a hip width difference apart, and cross your left ankle on top of the right knee. And as you can stay right here. You can place the block under your hips. So you lift the hips and slide your block, make sure it's right under the sacrum, and do your thread the needle pose, the number 4. If you have room to bring your right knee to the chest, clasping your hands behind your right thigh, you can do that. If you'd like to stretch your right leg up to the ceiling, flex the foot and try to touch the heel to the ceiling. That's another option, a deeper option. You can also release your hands, take them to the calves or ankles or all the way up to the right foot. You're deepening all the sensations. And again, choose what works for you. Sometimes it helps to try everything in order to know what we need. But also sometimes it helps to try different things and then eliminate them. So you can start with a block, and then when you feel that your body's stretched enough, you can release that. You can let it go. Take a deep inhale through the nostrils and exhale. And again, we're going to make our way back to that right foot on the floor. So if your hands are on the foot, walk the hands back to the calf muscles or to the thigh. Bend your right knee, place your right foot on the floor, and roll over the right side of your body. And when you roll over, you want to wait until your left foot touches the floor. Your right hand can grab on to the right ankle, to the left ankle. You can lift your torso to find a way to grab your left foot with your right foot with the left hand behind your back. So again, here in this pose, the sole of the left foot is on the floor, the left knee is pointing up to the ceiling, your right hand is hanging on the left ankle, keeping it stable, keeping the whole leg stable. Your left hand is behind your back, hanging on to the right foot, or at least pointing in the direction of your right foot, and the right knee is bent, pointing to the back of the room. Both shoulders are on the floor. Your gaze is up or right or left. and simply be. You will notice that your body is now starting to cool down. You might even feel that you can fall asleep now. This is the intention. The intention is to come to deep relaxation, which, as I explained in the beginning of class, is the purpose here, but not necessarily the purpose of a yin yoga class. Take a deep inhale through the nostrils. Right foot. And then right hand and left foot. Return to your back. Uncross your legs. Hug both knees to your chest and rock side to side. And again, take your time to massage. Our final posture is the happy baby posture, but in a yin version. So as I told you before, we're doing a lot of halves today. So keep your right knee on the floor with the right foot on the floor. Bring your left knee to your chest. Flex your left foot so the sole of the foot faces the ceiling. You might want to even grab onto your right foot, to your left foot with your right hand to bring that left knee to the floor a little bit closer, and then use your left hand and place it on the outer edge of that left foot. So I'm showing you the pose. It's just a half happy baby. That's what that is. And we're using both hands in order to deepen one side. And once you come here, once you get here, the left hand towards your left knee, and then pushing the left knee into the floor or into the armpit. You can stretch your right arm out to the side. You can stretch your right arm overhead. You can keep your right hand on your belly or on your chest and let your right elbow rest on the floor. And then from here, you can roll over the outer edge of your right foot, bringing your right knee to the floor, or simply stay here. Right foot on the floor, right knee bent, and the right knee is facing the ceiling. You can also stretch your right leg on the floor, on the mat. You choose. For those of you who are big fans of the happy baby pose, and you feel that you want to be in the happy baby, the full-on version for a long period of time, you can take happy baby now, not half. But start with the half to deepen one side a lot. Then take the full version of the pose. Take a deep inhale through the nostrils and exhale. And then bring your right knee to your chest. Keep the half happy baby happening on the left. Roll over the left side of your body and stretch that left leg as you keep your right knee at the chest.
You can let your left hand rest on the floor. It's a very nice final stretch of the hamstrings, of the adductors, the inner thigh muscles. One more deep inhale and exhale. Bend both knees and hug them to the chest. Rock side to side. Rotate your ankles in one direction and the opposite direction. And switch to the other side. So now, the left foot is on the floor, left knee bent, left knee facing the ceiling. Hug your right knee to the chest as much as you can. Use your left hand to push that knee to the floor a little bit more. Use your right hand to catch the outer edge of the right foot. Push the foot into the knee and the knee into the floor, deepening your overhead. You also can roll over the outer edge of your left foot, dropping your bent left knee to the floor. That's going to bring you back to center if you do that. So you're not leaning onto one side more than the other. And again, for the fans of the happy baby pose, this is where you take on the full happy baby and you hang here. You don't have to rock. But if rocking is something that appeals to you here, go for it. The most important thing is the half happy baby happening on the right side. Everything else is a bonus. Take a deep inhale through the nostrils and exhale. And hug your left knee to your chest as you roll over the right side of your body and stretch. The floor. But try to go to the floor, feeling that wonderful stretch in the right hamstrings and the right adductors, the right inner thighs. And take a deep inhale and exhale. Bend your right knee, bring both knees to your chest, squeeze them in. Rock side to side. Rotate your ankles in one direction and the opposite direction. Point the toes, flex the feet, alternate. Do any movement that gives you this yumminess in the ankles. Maybe you want to stretch your arms towards your feet and do the same with the wrists. Rotation of the wrists with fists, without fists, with the thumb in and the fingers clasped. The fingers closed over the thumbs. And when you're ready, release it all into your Shavasana. So for Shavasana, I highly, as always, recommend a bolster under your knees. And if you have a scarf or a belt or the blanket or something to cover your eyes, go ahead and do that. Allowing the mind to be as pure as possible without distractions from the senses. Once you find your space, squeeze the shoulder blades towards one another a little bit more.
Again, pushing the shoulder blades into the chest, heart, lifting the chest. Soften the front ribs towards the front hip points. This will lengthen the back, will reduce the curves in the back, giving you a neutral spine. And release the shoulders, melt them into the floor, away from the ears. And one final movement of the head, maybe shaking your head. Yes and no. Releasing any tension remaining in the neck. Finding that perfect spot where the back of the head meets the floor, meets earth. Feel your heels on the floor. And again, one final movement to make sure the ankles are not holding any tension. And be aware of your whole body. Be aware of the tips of the toes and the soles of the feet, the arches of the feet, the heels, the tops of the feet, the ankles, calves, shins, the knees and the kneecaps, and the soft space behind your knees. Be aware of your thighs, your groin, your tailbone, your hips, your pelvis. The throat, shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, the hands, the fingers and fingertips. Be aware of the inside of your arms, your armpits. Be aware of your throat, your facial muscles. Be aware of your chin and your jaw, and your lower lip and upper lip, and your tongue, your nose, your cheeks, your cheekbones, your ears, your temples, your eyes, eyebrows, your forehead, and the crown of the head. Be aware of the back side of your body and the front, the right side of the body and the left. Be aware of your whole body and give yourself permission to rest.
Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Very gently start waking yourself up, or if you prefer to stay and meditate, all you need to do is just switch to that. If you'd like to take a little nap, you also can do that. I thank you for joining me for this beautiful practice. I could feel your energy. I'm very grateful. And I will be in touch. We'll do the same thing next week. I might change the time of the Tuesday class. Maybe we'll do a class at noon to accommodate those who used to take the noon class and can't make it at 6 p.m. Stay tuned. I will let you know. Namaste, everyone. Thank you again for showing up. Thank you for signing up for my YouTube channel. I'll talk to you later. Have a wonderful rest of this evening. Bye-bye.